Hi, welcome to the Necromancer Fanzine Show. I'm your host, Topan Shafran, and the movie you just saw was Pig, a film directed by Nico B, and, starring Rozz Williams, and I have Nico B here with me.
Hi.
Hi. And I wanted to ask you about the film.
Mm-hmm.
And besides being banned in Europe, I'm wondering the idea for this film. Whose idea was it entirely?
Well, entirely, I can't say it's Rozz.
Mm-hmm.
Rozz written the original story, and then I worked 2 months, I guess, with him on the script. So we kind of did it together, a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
He talking about the movie, what he wanted to do, and me writing the script, actually. And I included some scenes which weren't in his original idea.
Mm-hmm. And about the music, did he have Premature Ejaculation, which is his industrial experimental band, on his mind when he was recording the soundtrack for the movie?
No, this was actually going to be a separate project for him. It was actually originally going to be called 1334. That's the name he wanted to use for the soundtrack, instead of Rozz Williams, instead of, Premature Ejaculation. But sadly he died. After the film was finished, he didn't make the soundtrack. He left me with a lot of tapes, and I just had the tapes. And Chuck Collison, who we worked with Premature Ejaculation, actually added all the tapes together to a soundtrack to the movie.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hear this movie took you a while to finish?
Yes, we started January 1998, and took only 3 months after we were done, everything, script, filming, everything. But then it took him half a year to work on the soundtrack. Then he died. Then it took me another half year to get Chuck Collison, contact him, get him doing the soundtrack. So overall it took like 1.5 years.
Oh, okay. I want to ask you later on in the show more about Rozz. And the film was premiered in Hollywood, or officially premiered with Sex, Death, and Eyeliner.
Well, it just played at the Egyptian Theatre, you're right. But it actually premiered at the Covent 13, like January 3rd, 1999, which is like more than a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And recently played at the Egyptian Theatre.
Right. And are you currently going to work on another movie with famed director Alejandro Jodorowsky?
Well, I hope so. Well, actually, I'm going to direct a movie, and I asked him to play a small role in the film, important role. He's going to play a wise man in this film I'm working on now. And I asked him, and he said yes.
Wow.
So that's great. Yeah. Now I still have to do it. I mean, we're going to start filming in April, I guess. This year. And Kenneth Anger liked your film, and you're going to collaborate with him, and you and Kenneth Anger both have something to do with the Museum of Death, the Death Museum in Hollywood. Well, he invited me to go to a party at the Museum of Death when it opened. And he said, well, do you want to bring your camera? So I brought my 60mm camera, and he said, shoot this. So I was thinking he's going to direct me. We're planning to make a 5-minute short Kenneth Anger film. So I've been working on this, his obsession with death, actually.
Oh, okay. Wow. And there have been rumors saying that I want to get this question out first before we don't get to follow on it. Rozz had a lot of problems dealing with his addictions and things like that.
Well, I hanged out with him like the last 1.5 years of his life, nearly daily. He had no addiction, so I don't know what you're talking about, really. I mean, he liked to drink and party, but he didn't took any drugs at all these years.
Okay. And I want to show some clips of the book, and some of those images that he drew, or you kept his book when he passed away. I'm wondering, was all his belongings, his possessions, seized by the police department?
No. His family got all his belongings, and I got a few personal things I worked on with him. And when he died, the only thing they took actually with him at the same moment when they took him with an ambulance out of his house, they took his friend Andreas, who was a skeleton of 100 years old, and that's the only thing they seized as evidence.
As evidence?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I wonder what the conclusion they came up with.
I think none.
Oh, right.
I think they buried him again.
Oh. Wow. Okay, we're going to show some, later on, some artwork, and you can probably just tell us what we're looking at. And some of these books, they're pretty interesting. I particularly like this one. The title, you can describe what the title is.
Yeah, it's called Self-Portrait with X.
Wow. And this is really quite a big book. It's almost like a collector's comic book favorite, you know. Like
yeah, it took me a long time. I mean, he died in April, and in June I was thinking, I didn't want him to be forgotten for all the art he did.
Yes.
Because a lot of people never saw his art, his collages, his paintings. And we've been working together on doing some exhibitions in Hollywood, and he started painting actually before he died, recently then. And we're actually working on a book as well at the same time on his art. So when he died, a month later, I was thinking I wanted to show this to people. So I've been working on this book, and it took me a year to get it together, to get a complete picture of his work actually, including his music, of course.
Okay, that's good. Now, you have also his artwork, his book, where his collage book. That's I guess the prop for the movie.
Yeah, it's the prop for the movie.
Okay.
We also had a door, which is in the movie. And if you're ever going to see the movie, or if the audience is ever going to see the movie, there's this door. You will see it in the movie. And strangely enough, we made this door. It took us like 3 days to make it. He was telling me what to put on it. It's this big collage. It's a life-size door he made into an art piece. But he put it in storage, and he didn't pay his bills in time, and it happened before with him. And that door and a lot of his other personal belongings just disappeared, which is sad, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody's got a hold of those things, maybe.
Some guy probably got hold of it and what's this door, and threw it away, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Or let them know now. It's like,
yeah, probably worth $2,000 at an exhibition now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna play some videos, and after that we're coming back with some more on Rozz's artwork and his book, and more moments with Rozz. And right now we're gonna play something from Rozz.
There's a crack on the wall. All of my hair is crooked sideways, and I work my fingers to the bone until the milk curtains glow my way. And there's a crack in the wall. My aching skull, milk spilled by you, and I'm bruised, bruised. Bruised, I'm bruised. Some call music goes sideways, but I beat his bullet to the mind. All the fidget goes your way, and there's a crack in the wall. My aching skull is filled by you, and I'm bruised. I'm bruised, used by you. Bruised, I'm bruised, used by you. Now there's a fly upon the wall. There's a fly upon the wall, and each day the heart goes stronger. But I beat the bullet to its mind. When I killed him, when I found her, 'cause there's a crack in the wall. My aching skull is filled by you, and I'm bruised. There's a hand upon my chest. There's a hand upon the chest, and each day my heart grows fonder.
Hello, we're back with Nico B, film director of Pig, and he's describing his moments with Rozz Williams, and we're talking about the artwork book, and he has some particular stills he wants us to see, and while we're seeing those clips, just tell me like the type of person that Rozz was when you known him personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know him then. I saw him live. This is a clip from Early Christian Dead, I think 1982 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him a year later. I lived in Europe at that time, and I saw him in '83, I guess, for the first time live, and it was great.
Oh, okay. And people might think just his own persona, and this is like basically the cover.
Yeah, this is the self-portrait with X. It's also called Walking Away from the Dying World. And this is a beautiful collage he made, I think around 1996.
96, before his demise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And everything about him, people have this like personification of Rozz. It's like I remember like everybody saw him as like a deified person. Did he ever come across to you that way?
What's a deified person?
Like one who's like worthy of respect. Some people will actually say, "Oh, I've stolen Rozz's beer." You know, that's how big of a person.
Some people are obsessed, I guess.
Mm.
I'm sure he had his his idols too.
Right.
But he was a very special person.
Right.
And very talented in many ways.
Uh-huh. I've heard somebody who was telling me that I believe it was either Jatan described Rozz as an angel, or maybe it was your wife.
He's my ex-wife?
Yes, your ex-wife.
Well, he's an angel now.
He's an angel now, yes.
I think he was a devil sometimes.
Oh, really?
when when he was having fun, he would go all the way.
Oh, wow.
But he was a great, humorous person as well.
Yeah, yeah. So is there everything now about Rozz, everything that he accomplished up to the point of the film, is that everything that Rozz did that was expected of him? Like he probably had a plan of some sort to do as much recordings and much of his artwork.
Well, he wanted to do a lot more.
Right.
I mean, like I told you earlier, we were working on this art exhibition. I was buying in some canvases to start painting, you know. And he started doing that, so he really wanted to do that. And beside that, he just had a new band, and actually the producer of the first Christian Death album, he was going to produce his new album, and this was going to be his rock comeback, I guess.
Oh.
And he had like 12 songs listed up to be recorded.
Wow.
And this, you know, the record company was pretty frustrated because it took a long time for him to get going, I guess. And he kind of lost his band to Sitan at that time. He was kind of frustrated, so things were not really doing too well musically. So he was thinking and having more fun to do art actually at that time.
Oh.
And well, but how are you going to live from art, you know?
Right, right. So there's everything's up in the air pretty much after this, I guess.
Yes, I mean the film was his last project he finished. I mean, he had other projects lined up, and I'm sure there's several people he was thinking of working with are still waiting, but it didn't happen, you know.
Oh, right, right. I heard a lot about all his other band members meeting the same fate as him, and I'm wondering.
Well, there was one, but I guess it's kind of stupid, you know. But I guess that guy had some problems of his own himself, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know that it brings out a lot of pain.
Yeah, it's very sad that it happened.
Yeah.
But before Rozz, one of Rozz's best friends, Eric Christidis,
right,
he died 3 months, or what is it? Well, I guess 4 months before Rozz committed suicide.
Oh.
And Rozz was still, you know, around that time, before he died, he was still very upset with that.
Yeah, they were best of friends.
Yeah.
Wow. And the collage, how would you some of these pages, it's they're kind of disturbing in some ways, but I know he was a very intense person. He wasn't very sociable at times, but it looks like he put most of the energy into the art that he's created.
Yeah, he was like I said earlier, you know, he's very talented. That's the way he was seeing the world, I guess. Right.
But as you said, there's he was an angel most of the time.
Oh yeah, he was a very kind and sweet person. Yeah, definitely.
Right, right. Okay, I want to show some more clips, if we can, later. But I'm wondering, most of the people who have influenced Rozz, I guess they span from 9 Inch Nails and other bands.
Well, I guess definitely Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson, right.
I guess Rozz told me once that, I don't know if he sent him a letter, but when he was, what was his real name of Marilyn Manson?
Brian Warner?
Brian, okay.
Brian.
I know he was a fan of Rozz when he was young.
Oh.
But actually I saw him recently at a Museum of Death, I guess it was. And he kind of let know that he knew about him. But I'm sure, you know, his whole image, if you look at it, it's like an extension of what Rozz was doing at that time, like 10, 20 years before, you know.
Right, right. I heard that, I've heard the same thing about Patrick Mata from Community FK.
Well, Patrick was around the same time when Rozz started. He had his band, was it his band?
Yeah. He says that, well, Patrick says that, that the band that does the New Order song, what is that called?
What band is that?
The band that plays New Order's Blue Monday, I believe.
Oh, yeah? Which, I don't know.
Oh, okay. We're coming up with some more on Rozz after this. We're going to show, I believe it's Skinny Puppy with Smothered Hope, and yeah, we can probably show some more on Rozz when we come back. Thanks. Hello, we're back with Nico B, film director of Pig, and he knows about maybe everything that there is to know about Rozz Williams, frontman for Christian.
I don't think so. No.
Uh-huh.
I mean, everything of the last few years, but that's about it.
Right, right. Tell me about that night you got the message about Rozz meeting his demise.
What I was telling you earlier. Okay. Well, it's hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
But he actually left a message the day before he died on my answering machine, like in the middle of the night, but sadly I was already sleeping. I think he called like 4 o'clock at night, and he just left a message that he was very depressed and he needed to talk with somebody. And he actually talked with another friend of him, and he was telling her, after I spoke with her later, that he was planning to commit suicide, and he didn't know, he was getting scared. And well, she actually talked him out of it. She thought so. And the next day, actually, I was planning to see a movie with him at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, of course, after I heard his first message, he didn't mention anything about suicide to me on the message, but he sounded desperate. He, you know, I was getting worried because I was calling him and nobody was picking up the phone, and we were planning to go to this movie at 2 o'clock and he didn't pick up the phone, so I called like 10 times. And then his roommate came home at 5 o'clock, I guess, and he heard all the messages on the answering machine. He was wondering what was going on. He knew he was going to this movie with me, and he actually, you know, was like, what's going on? So then he found out that Ross's door was locked, and he broke the door open and he found him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's sad. Well, I thank you very much, Nico, for being here. And anything from the show at this point on, we're going to play more videos in the later shows with Rozz as a good person in mind, you know. And the show is going to advertise the website for Rozz's website. It's called www.rozznet.com.
I didn't make it up.
And you can find more information on the book, right? And on that.
Yeah, you can find the book, the video, you know, or anything related to Rozz.
Oh, anything related to Rozz. Okay. I thank you very much. Take care.
Open, so I crawled inside. Someone up ahead was crying, and someone up ahead was dying. They were lost in the darkness, lost in today. Well, you can only lose it to your mind. You've got to lose it to your mind. My. With a tranquility, they hit hard on your innocence. We're just guarding all